Okay, and we are live, Sylvia.
Hi.
Hello. Good.
Hello.
Let's just pretend that we've just met each other for the first time.
What? Sorry?
I said, shall we pretend we're just saying hello for the first time and we haven't been talking for 30 minutes? Okay. All right. Thank you to everyone who's joining as they're joining. So today I'm going to be speaking with Sylvia all about home staging. She's going to share all of her knowledge about the industry and why it works, why it's effective, why real estate agents should and need to be using it more. Before we do that, though, Sylvia, why don't we?
But I just wanted to thank you, Sean, for the invitation for organize this interview. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you. Well, in fact, actually, before I ask you to introduce yourself, maybe I'll just say a little bit about how we met. So we met via a mutual, on LinkedIn, via a mutual connection. One of my clients, who Samuele, I believe. Have you worked with Samuele, or do you just know Samuele?
Yes, it is also my client.
Excellent. And interestingly, as I said to you previously when we were speaking, you were the first person who's actually applied, so to speak. You applied to be on the show. You responded to my post asking for anyone who wants to come along and talk, and you're the only either brave, courageous person or crazy person to actually, or crazy person maybe, to respond. So please, we're going to talk about home staging for the next 45 minutes or so. But before we do that, why don't we start with a little bit about you and your background? So can you tell us what you did before you got into this? What was your previous life like?
Yes, previously I was a sales director for an industry company. And I worked there for 12 years approximately. And then I decided to stop it and to just make a stop it period, just to understand what I wanted to do in my life. During the COVID period, I get in touch with home staging. And for my part, was falling in love of this job, and I wanted to study and to become, in order to become an home stager. So in year 2020, I just studied. I forward myself. I take the certification in Bologna, and then I immediately start this new job. But it is really strange because it is a completely new, and this is the most difficult part of my job, to explain what home staging is, because people doesn't know, and it is a new marketing technique. So it is really let's say something that communicate this part, let's say encourage you to make every day new communication, new potential client. So this is
it's like a new world still, isn't it? Because as you said, it's a new type of thing, really, isn't it? It's not something that oh, can you hear me, Sylvia?
I can hear you. Sean?
Oh no. Hello, I'm still here. Hello?
Yeah, okay. Now I hear you. Yes.
Now you hear me. Okay. Sorry, I was just going to just add to your point that it's not brand new, but especially in the Italian market, it's not the standard, is it? It's not the standard thing that people are accustomed to. Would you agree?
Exactly. Yeah, because let's say that in America, starting approximately 50 years ago, but in Italy, it is more than 10 years that we are speaking about home staging has a service to sell the house. and a lot of people doesn't know exactly what is it. It could be for them unreal, virtual things, and doesn't know exactly what I'm doing in reality, because speaking about home staging, it is a real estate marketing technique. That is the point.
So how do you, before we go into more detail, let's imagine that you're meeting someone outside of real estate, or not a client. Maybe it's a parent of one of your children's friends or something like that, and they say to you, "What do you do? What is your sort of brief, less than 30 seconds?" Simple explanation of what you do. What's your go-to response?
Is I prepare the house in order to sell them, reducing time and keeping the value of the house. This is the easy sentence that I can use with people that are not involved in the real estate market. Just to introduce a little bit what is simple, yes. But going down deeply on my business, I said before that it's a real estate marketing technique, because we make a strategy in order to sell the house. Preparing the house means that we just put energy, put some value more on the house, and in order to enhance the house to sell. You can understand what I mean. It is. So, for example, when I prepare an empty house, I just take all the furniture that are in a normal house. That means real material like table, chairs, carpet, pillow, duvet, lamps, light, everything, plants. And also, if it is an empty house, I bring also cardboard demonstration furniture, like a kitchen. I prepare also a bed in order to make the space, the real space, in an empty room. This is some people say, but why are you doing that? Easy. The people cannot imagine an empty room. So this way we reduce the objection of an empty space. This is the most common objection that a real estate agent can have, presenting during a visit in an empty house, let's say.
So one of the things that you've mentioned there, and we spoke about the very first time we spoke, that I thought was really interesting, was this point that it's not just, I think it's quite easy to understand that you put furniture in the house. That's a simple part. Yeah, I think that people understand that. Maybe they ask why, but okay, that's the basics of the job. But and I understood that, but it wasn't until we spoke previously that I understood how much more it is. And as you just said there, you're involved in creating the marketing strategy. That's right, isn't it? So
yes.
Can you say a little bit more about that? So what can you bring to it? What does home staging bring to it in terms of the strategy that's more than just putting furniture in?
Because let's say that we have make an example. Just take a pyramid which on the top of a pyramid, there is the advertisement. Advertisement that is the meeting point between offer and demand of a market, okay? Behind that, there is a lot of step that a strategy can be made. An easy way is just to take the mobile phone, make some pictures and put online. That is the common way to work, let's say. But this is not a presentation, a well presentation of a product. We consider house like a product. So if we make a strategy, means that the announcement, the advertisement of the house must be packaged. Preparing the house means with a shooting, a photo shooting, so good image to present. But if you don't have behind the presentation of a house, the valuation, increasing the image, you don't have also good pictures. That is why we prepare the house, we make the pictures, and then we make the announcement. This is a strategy to follow to go on the market and to sell faster and to keep the value of the house.
And how much of this did you learn in the last 4 years? Because you said, did you take a lot of lessons from your previous job, or have you learned everything from the beginning, basically, in the last 4 years?
No, but I took my degree in foreign trade, so it was a completely different background. So I don't have. I just started to study, to learn about home staging, and in these 4 years, I just learn a lot. Say, learn a lot. Yeah, every day I learn something.
What's been one of the, like, something interesting that you've learned recently, or an interesting challenge that you've had to face recently?
Sorry, I don't understand you. What can you repeat?
I was asking, can you give an example of something that you've learned recently, or a challenge perhaps that you've faced recently in your job?
For example, I for the inauguration of my new location, I make a course to 12 real estate agents that explaining about this marketing strategy, about these short things, but and I then just put the focus, of course, on the home staging, but just to introduce them about this new strategy, this new technique, and to try to change the way to work in the real estate market. This is what we are involved every day as a home stager, just to change the mind. This is the things. This is one of my challenge in this period.
I want to ask you, I have a question about that to ask you, but just before, I just want to, I realize I haven't said this, but I will say it now to the people watching. If anyone has any questions about home staging or about Silvia's experience, or anything they want to ask, you can please ask your question, leave a comment on the video, and I can ask your question for you. And what do you think then? So let's go. Let's continue with that point, Sylvia. What do you think is the current mentality towards home staging in the market? What do you think the average agent in Italy thinks about it?
In Italy, there is a small percentage of real estate agents that want to make the difference in the market. A lot of people are still thinking that I just sell houses until today in this way, why I have to change. And there are people that want to make a difference, want to diversify from the competitors. So asking my service, asking home staging, nice pictures, want to elevate their agents in order to diversify on the market and become the agent with a nice house. And in this way, they also have a possibility to receive other contract. Let's say in Italian is just to take the exclusivity of a new house, to sell a new house. So this is a little bit a circle. You present nice house with a strategy. People who are looking for a new house a lot of time have to sell a house. So just make the decision to give exclusivity to this agent instead of others. So it is also a possibility to increase the properties to the list. The list. This is.
Yeah, I would imagine that it would actually be in the interests of both the sellers and the agents to use more exclusive contracts in this case, because you're adding another level of service. Is that right? You're
Exactly.
Obviously this costs more money because things cost money. So if you're going to put this, but there are benefits which we're going to talk about in a little bit anyway. So obviously, if you're going to invest some more energy into the strategy with a more competent agent and someone with your experience, it makes more sense to give it an exclusive contract, I would imagine, which is beneficial for the agents too.
Exactly. This is one of the first point that it's the first point to have the exclusivity in order to make the right strategy. Otherwise, it is only a loss of energy, because if the house, the owner of the house wanted to give to different agent, at the end, one agent doesn't make a lot of effort on and lose only energy, time, energy, money. So it is not the case. It is one important thing is to have exclusivity. But the home staging, it is also a way to get the exclusivity because to present a different service to the owner.
Yeah, makes sense to me. So, do you ever work with owners directly, or is it only through agents? Is that something that people do, or not really?
Yes, I'm owner, like investor, investitori, like the people that wanted to just make the fishing, just buy and resell. So just they buy the house and then make some renovation, for example, and then they want to resell. So this is owners that want to do that. Private owners, this it could be a nice let's say, challenge. And this is the way that we have to change the mind on the market, because people are thinking only to give the house to the agent, and that's it. But the energy that we request also to the owner is high to present the house. But we have to explain that this is the important things. And as a home stager, we are just in continual communication with our sales agent, our real estate agent, to present this project. This is important, to be in connection always with them.
Okay, so what about then? Why don't we? I wanted to ask you some questions about the benefits. We've spoken about the benefits of home staging a little bit, but we haven't got into some of the more like the concrete details and the statistics that you shared with me previously. And,
Yes.
So yeah, imagine if you had a skeptical person in front of you. What sort? And they were saying, and you had presented your offer, and they said, "Oh, I don't know. What's the benefit? Why should I pay for it?" What kind of statistics can you share to prove
Yes.
that they're wrong?
I every year as home stager, I have to prepare a statistic of my job, considering how many houses I staged and in how many days the agent has sold, etc. All these data are collected by this two association that we have in Italy for home staging. I'm part of Associazione Home Staging Lovers. And what we have as statistic is that it is approximately 6 months, the period as average that not staged house has been sold in Italy, an average. This data, you can find it in Banca d'Italia information, so it is something public. The result is less than 2 months. So the reduction of timing is high. So it is 35 days average of housing prepared by home staging. So it's happened to me that agent has sold the house during open house in 1 day at the first visit, in a week after 3 days from the announcement. So it is a good result, let's say. In this way, reducing the timing, you reduce also the valuation of a house. This is important. And then, so we have these two important things. And the other point is the reduction of the discount that the purchaser asks to the owner. When you sell something, the people are asking discount for that. Banca d'Italia say that is approximately around 8-9% the average for a house, a normal house. And we have an average of 3% after staging the house. So also this is keeping the value of the house. This is really important.
So 180 days, just to recap, 180 days is the average time from point of going on the market to
sell.
I guess, is it, yeah, not closing, but I guess completing, is that receiving the final offer?
Yes, let's say,
yeah.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, because
And
then there is the
and there's some
timing.
bureaucracy afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it is just
So-
for the first, just to sign the first offer, let's say. Yeah.
So, and with home staging, the average is 35 days. So it's
Yes.
more that it's not even 50%, isn't it? It's more than 50. It's what is that?
I don't know. Percentage.
It's
Let's say
significantly.
that.
I think it's more. I think it's something like, yeah, that's more like 80% faster or something like that, isn't it? Close around that number without getting my calculator out. That's really impressive. And then you were saying that I would use the word haggling. The haggling, that's like negotiating when you ask to reduce the price. The haggling reduces, and you know that for a fact as well because of the way the system works. I imagine when you said the data comes from Banca Italia, is that because of the way it works in Italy, people have to do that negotiation kind of formally. Yeah, they do it from when they make the offer to when it's accepted. So that information is recorded. Is that right?
Yes, yes. It is all statistic, but we can find easily on internet in Banca d'Italia information. So it is something that is public, and that people just answered the question also for the association of real estate market. Even so, it is public information. It is not something that we just invent, but we find it.
That's why I'm asking, because I wasn't thinking that you invented it. I was thinking more that I was thinking more that information would be difficult to know in other countries, but not in Italy, right? Because of I'm just thinking about it in like the American market, like the haggling and the negotiating can happen just between agents speaking. It doesn't always get recorded, so you wouldn't really be able to track that. But in Italy, you can track that because of the way the system works. So you can legitimately say this reduces the discount, as you put it, the discount people ask for on the property because it's recorded. That's right, isn't it? I just want to make sure I've understood.
This is a good question. Yeah. Personally, I'm not involved about that. I can ask in any case this information because it's really interest. But I think that when a real estate agent are in association, like me, in my association, from my category, they have to inform about their business as well. So make this data, communicate this data as well. This is probably an information that we have from this statistic as well. Yeah.
Okay, so it definitely works then. It's working. You can't say it's from what you're telling me, it sounds that way. It sounds like you can very confidently tell people that this does work. It does improve sales. It does improve the speed. It improves the price. But well, I'm curious to know a little bit more about how it works as a business for you. So I know that you told me that behind you, that this office space you have set up, this lovely office with that's your company name, right? Is that right in the background? Yeah. So, but this is actually in the warehouse. Yeah. So behind you, you've got all of your furniture and all of your stock, so to speak. So, how big? You know, how much stuff do you have, Silvia? That's what I want to know. Like, how much stuff do you have? How much stuff does a successful home stager need to have?
Well, if you wanted to make a business, if you want to be a professional and not considered like a hobbyist, I mean, just for passion, you have to invest, of course, invest money, invest energy, and invest in time. I just wanted to create this location. It is, I just call it a hub Casa Chuck. It is a space, it is 200 square meters approximately. in which I divided the space. At the beginning, it was empty. In the past, it was a supermarket there. And I just divided the area, having my office and the showroom, because I wanted also to show how I work. And behind me, there is my warehouse. I have a lot of materials, of course, from, can you think about something that I have at home, and I have it, from candle to chairs to lamps, plants, everything. This is. If you wanted to make a business, you have to invest. This is the principle. Yeah.
And when you were selecting this furniture and the things that you invested in, did you? Yeah, I'm just curious how you did it, because again, it's very simple. Okay, it's simple to say, buy furniture, buy things for the house, but obviously it's not just that, is it? You've selected these things. So do you select by sort of what's fashionable? Is it what's best in photographs? What's in style? Is it based on what you know will complement the average property? Like what's the thought process behind selecting the stock, the furniture?
At the beginning, of course, I just bought material for the first project. Of course, I just don't. I didn't buy something just to buy something. I just bought material for each project, and then if I saw something that I like and I think that it could be nice for an home staging, I buy it. Or if I don't have material for this specific project, for this specific house, I buy. But considering, of course, that must be reuseful, I have to reuse for another project. So it is something that must be designer for colors and also durable, of course. For the cardboard demonstration furniture, we have a different supplier, for example, as well. But make for us, for home staging, make the furniture.
Also, when you said you mentioned cardboard furniture before, so is that something that you do when it's when there's a more unique or specific thing that you need for a particular property, you'll maybe sometimes use cardboard because it's easier, or is it a case of anything big and heavy is cardboard? How does that work?
I don't like to put only cardboard furniture. I don't like it. I just make the decision to create much more the real house, a real home. That means that I use this furniture only for kitchen, for example, sometimes for the sofa, or to create the bed, because I don't take the real bed. It is fake, fake bed. But we need it in order to create the space in a room. This is important. And
the beds are usually fake then. Yeah, when I'm looking at a home stage house, the beds are pretty much always fake because they're heavy, I imagine. Heavy, big, and
difficult to transport. We create from zero and we create with cardboard material, or with how say in English, gonfiabile, I don't know.
Inflatable.
Inflatable, yes.
Inflatable, you can like,
Yeah.
yeah, it gets bigger. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but it is it is just to create the space to demonstrate that in this room there is space for everything. Yes.
okay. And it's just something that I'm imagining how some people that I know would be terrible at this job, I imagine, because, and I say this because they probably would spend all the money on buying furniture that they liked and would get, because some people like to collect things. Yeah, they like to gather stuff, and I imagine some people, I know some people fill their houses with things, and if they were trying to do your job, they would probably go crazy buying too many things. So, are you like that? Are you someone? Were you partly drawn to this because of your love of interior design, or is it more about the job and the marketing side of it? Which aspect of the job is sort of attracted you originally, Silvia?
Let's say that I like the house. I like the design in the house. I like all components of the house. Of course, it could be also a percentage of myself that I want to buy just for pleasure of buy something. Let's say, but of course we have to consider that is a business, and we have to find the right stuff to buy, and not just impulsive, just to I like this and I buy it, because sometimes you don't need it and you put on a warehouse and that's it, and this is only a loss of money. So we have also to fix on the attention on business, on the.
Oh, to be clear, I didn't think you were that type of person. I was just more curious about your about your. I imagine some people are more. Yeah, I imagine some people are more interested in the interior design, and some people are more interested in the marketing and the real estate side, because there are many different aspects to this job, right? It intersects between different parts of the industry, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you consider that when I was in my stopped period, let's say, I was thinking about how can be present a house much better. I was in contact with a real estate agent, because on that time with my husband we wanted to buy something to invest money for a house just to rent. And I saw how bad was presented the house, and I was thinking, but why I entered to a house and it is dirty, there is a mess, why it is bad presented on the pictures. So I was just thinking about that. And then during COVID, I discovered Homestaging, and all my question was answered in this job. So I said, okay, this is my job. That is. Probably I forgot your question.
No, that's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting that you had that thought, like from a personal experience of, well, why is it like this? Why are you showing me this dirty place, or this, whatever? Like, this is not ideal. And then you went away and discovered, oh, this is actually this is a job, if you like. This is something I can do.
I'm going to start, let's say, a battle for the bad presentation of a house. If you I'm collecting pictures that I say on Facebook or on different web advertisement web, like Immobiliare.it, Idealista, that is a lot of. And I really surprised how people are still presenting the house in this way, with all the clothes around the room, on the chair, shoes everywhere, table still full of dirty dishes. So it is incredible. I'm always disappointed about that, because it is not true.
So what let me that goes into my next question actually very well, because we've spoken about what you do, you know, how you would homestage an empty house, you know, and why you would homestage an empty house, because it shows potential buyers the space. It helps them to imagine living there, how the space can be used. Okay, that's very clear. But what about when dealing with that scenario you've just described? So you go into it, you've been asked to come along and help to homestage a home, but people are living in it. It's not, and it is a mess. I imagine you have to we say be tactful. I don't know,
Of course.
or
Of
maybe not. I
course.
don't know. What's your approach? How do you deal with that situation, Sylvia?
I said always, when I go in and I visit the first time a house that must be put on the market, and there is a chaotic situation, full of furniture, full of stuff. What I explain is that we have to sell a product. You have to prepare this product, and you have to put the best image for that. When I go in, I just make some pictures for me in order to prepare a report that I present to the owner. And I ask them to, or I kindly suggest better, to prepare the house in order to have for the shooting day. And it is, I ask to remove stuff, furniture that is too much, for example, to change, for example, renovate the paint on the wall if there is a strong color that also can not have a good feeling, a good emotional impact. And I suggest what we need to keep it for the shooting day. And let's say that 99% of the owner can understand the situation and are good involved to do that, let's say. Because the explanation is that we have to present a product. You don't want to present a fake product or also a damaged product, because then you have a complaint after that. So this is in living in the house where people living in. It is. It is. Yeah, I have to be careful what I have to say, but also I have to be incisive. I have to be a little bit stronger.
You have to be firm with people. You have to be encouraging in the right way. Yeah, does that sound right?
Yes.
And you also mentioned investment properties as well. And would it be very different? I mean, when you are let's just say if you're working with an investor or someone who's not actually living in the property, is there a very different approach, or is it very similar to how you would homestage the home for them?
Investor, do you mean people that just buy and resell, or people that have a property that rents the property?
Well, maybe I didn't actually specify, but maybe the second one's more interesting actually, because buying and selling I think is fairly similar, but renting might be different.
The people have to, the people that are living in is not the owner, so the owner have to speak with them and just prepare them about my job, and what I am asking to do is to be part of this project, just for the benefit of the house. But I didn't have any case that the people living in were reacted and say, no, I don't do that. I can do it. It's all. I had all cooperation from them.
No negative experiences then so far?
No, exactly.
Okay. And what about, what's been your most positive experience so far? What's been the best thing about this change? As you say, it's quite a big change to go from one job that you've been doing for 12 years and to have a break and then launch into your own business. So what's been the best thing about it so far for you, Silvia?
It is something that I'm creating something from zero. And I'm a little bit proud about that because I just create and I have a support of my client. I have I'm seeing that people is going to recognize this new job as an important point of their offers. So this is important. Feeling part of a team. This is really important. And considering that I have created this space just to make in connection a real estate agent with investor, constructors, and property manager. I want that this hub will become a place where we can meet each other, we share information, and we create a new way of to work. This is
fantastic. Okay, Silvia, I think we've spoken for quite a long time now, so maybe this is a good time to ask you if you have anything we haven't spoken about, or anything that you think we desperately need to mention.
We can continue to speak for another hours if you want. No, well, I don't know if there is some question from people that are listening us.
As I said to you before, I always either have a very how can I say, a very enthusiastic audience with lots of questions, or we have a very shy audience. and I think today we've got the shy one. Had no questions so far, no comments, but that's that happens sometimes anyway. Yes. But if anyone does have a question, they can ask. We can wait for it. We don't have to. We can give it a minute to see if anything comes in. And I mean, okay, I don't think we should talk for another hour. Not because I'm not interested, but because I know that it will be a very long recording that no one will watch, and it would probably be better. It probably would be. It's a long time for the average person, so it probably would be better for another time, maybe. But what would be? What are the maybe just quickly, like, what are the other things about home staging do you think that are really interesting that you would explore more, or should be explored more? What other things should people know?
Let's say that considering home staging, let's say home staging and the rendering. Rendering is a fantastic instrument for housing that are not built. So it is that must be sold on the paper, let's say. It is a fantastic image that sometimes I just carefully watch if it is real or not, because nowadays it is the program and the graphic can make fantastic pictures. But so you have a nice emotional impact when see it. And this is good for not built house. But when the house or apartment, let's say an apartment in a big building, is made and it is not finished, for example, not the floor, not the doors, or are not painted the wall, so it is this gray color. When you have the image from rendering and you go in this space, you have a follow down of the emotional part of you. There is let's say frustration because you're in your mind it is the image that you saw before. With home staging, the real home staging, this frustration doesn't exist, because you can touch and you can have the same feeling watching the rendering. So the emotional part is still high. This is one of the difference on strategy. So if you have to sell a house that is not built, rendering is perfect. If you have to sell a house that is already made, already built, but not finished, the home staging can be the best way. Yes.
So that we could probably go into an entire conversation about AI and the future of the industry, or that kind of subject, but I think that probably would be the extra hour, so I won't do that. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that makes I also think when you're dealing with something that's not built, there's also just a different expectation, isn't there? You know, if you see, because sometimes I look at some of these pictures, the 3D rendered images for the developments, and it's very, you can see it's not real. You know, it's not, but it doesn't matter too much, if that makes sense. I guess, yeah, because it's not real. But, I know it's not real.
You start your imagination. You start to image, and you have a good vibes, a positive vibes. If you go in an empty house, in a not finished house, apartment, you have to image, you have to create something. And people in this period of time not a lot, not so created as I have image, because we are used to see a lot of videos. We just saw videos, image every day on the social, on the website. So we are losing this creative part of our mind, let's say.
Well, as I said, I think that's the entire subject. We should stop ourselves there before we go into it. And it doesn't look
In
like
an
we have
hour.
any. Yeah, before we go into that, it doesn't look like we have any questions, but never mind. That happens sometimes. If anyone watching this stream later on, watching the recording, has a question, they can always leave a comment, and we will still respond to it. I will respond to it, and I'll tag Sylvia in it if you have a specific question for her. But thank you very much, Sylvia. Thank you for joining me and for sharing your experience and
Thank
sharing your
you,
knowledge.
Sean. It was really nice to talk about my job with you. I hope that could be helpful for some people.
And in the end, did you enjoy yourself?
Yes.
Good. All right. Good.
Of course.
Well done. I'm going to end
At the beginning, I was really nervous. I'm still nervous, but it is part of
less of a problem now. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you very much, though. Thank you for everyone who's still watching. See you next time.
Yes.